welcome back to my channel. Today we're going to do a DIY Dollar Tree and Dollar General Farmhouse Bunny makeover. The first thing we're going to do is duplicate this Farmhouse Bunny lace and pink that I found. We're going to use this cute little wall decor piece from the Dollar Tree. I don't really know what it is. Also some burlap ribbon of your choice if you want for embellishments. That's entirely up to you. We're also going to use 4, you could use 6 Jenga blocks if you want to. These are the tumbling towers from the Dollar Tree, as well as this wooden bunny cutout that was $2 at the Dollar General. Now if you use coupons on Saturday, save lots of money. We're also going to use a glue gun and of course our scissor, and then of course a pen to write. I also was gifted these great burlap roses and flowers that I'm going to, you'll see at the end, I'm going to change the little white bunnies, make him more farmhouse, basically. But that lace bunny that I had got was my inspiration. They had a wooden one and a lace one. The wooden one was $3.50 at the Dollar General, and I found a plain one, and I thought they would make a really cute couple if I made him burlap and her leave her lace and just make her a little bit more countrified. So the first thing I want to do is I want to take this decor piece from the Dollar Tree and I'm separating it. I'm basically ripping the stitches out, and I'm showing you a quick way here to do it. What you do is I just start on the outside and I clipped one of the little threads. This is very loosely sewn, so it's actually kind of easy. And then you just pull it, and it'll take out 3 or 4 threads, and then you have to cut the next one, and then you're able to pull out 3 or 4 more threads. And you can see here, it does really go super fast. There's a couple of spots on the corners that I think were double sewn, which is where you start and finish your sewing after you close and stuff it. This piece from the Dollar Tree, not everybody was able to find it according to the comments, but when I found it, it was very lightly stuffed, and I wasn't really sure what I wanted to do with it. It also was very wrinkled, so I was like, I did have some subscribers say that they went ahead and they opened it up, restuffed it with more stuffing to make little side pillows, which is a really cute idea as well. But what we're going to do is we're going to snatch the burlap off the back. I'm going to leave the front piece so we could do a DIY with it some other day. And I'm not really worried about unwrinkling this, because once we stuff it, it'll flatten all the wrinkles out. So I've taken the opposite side of the bunny that I want to use, basically, and I put it on the wrong side of the fabric, and I'm just tracing it. And of course, knowing me, I'm moving it over the best I can to utilize most of the fabric in case I ever want to use it for another project. And now I've cut it out. Now I want to cut this on the inside of the black lines, or whatever color lines you use, but you want to cut it just shy of the actual lines. What that's going to do is that's going to give that same effect that was on the first bunny. Now the first bunny is, for all intents and purposes, he is actually like a sewed little pillow glued onto the board, but we didn't need to do that. Plus that's white lace on a white bunny, and so this bunny is wood, and I didn't worry about putting an underlayment or painting it prior to putting the burlap down, because I feel like the burlap and the wood go really well together, which makes this project even easier. But of course you could take any fabric and make this bunny the way you want. You can do it in Farmhouse check, you can get any of the 97-cent fat quarters from Walmart. Anything would be really cute. I just really wanted to make him burlap. I wanted to make him a little bit more rustic and her a little bit more fancy since she's lace. So now what I'm going to do is just inside of where the edges of the fabric are, I want to put glue around. I'm going to start with the ears, okay, and I'm going to glue both sides and the top, but not the bottom. And then I'm going to stuff using a popsicle stick, but use anything you can to just take some of the batting that was inside of the Easter basket decor, and I'm just going to use that to stuff in his ears. You don't want to overstuff it because you don't want to risk pulling the glue or the fabric off. But we're just going to do that, and then we're going to do it in sections. It's best to do it in sections so that you don't have to worry about how you're going to get something all the way up. So what I did was his ears, And then I went ahead and I glued all down his back to his tail, and then came to this side, glued his face. Once it's dry, you really want to make sure your glue is nice and cooled off and set up before you stuff it, because you might accidentally poke it if it's still wet. You'll release the glue. Then I went ahead and I stuffed his face. The good part about stuffing in sections as well is that it actually does create sort of like a dimensional cheek and then like a dimensional shoulder. You know what I'm saying? So it actually puffs out a little section separately. And then I continued to glue on the front and continued to stuff some of his body. And then for me, my personal preference was I didn't want to puff his tail up with stuffing, because I was going to put a tail on the outside to match the original inspiration piece. So what I did was I just glued down the fabric all over his tail. Okay, and then I went around the back of his feet and then around the front of his feet, and I left myself a little opening on the bottom just to be able to get all that stuffing in. And we ended up using a lot less batting that actually came in that basket decor, so we have some left over, which is great. But the original bunny isn't really stuffed, very puffy, just a little bit to the touch, so I figured that this was perfect. All right, and then once you have it all shoved in down there, we want to go ahead and glue it. So I'm just going to close that last piece up with the glue. What you do is you want to push it, hit it with the hot glue, and then make sure that the stuffing is out of the way. I did have this one last hole here. So what I had to do is, once the glue was set up, I went ahead and I pushed it in and just sealed that back up again. But we're going to cover that front bottom seam with the Jenga blocks, and that's just an option. You can do, leave it. You can hang this wall decor if you want to. So I wasn't too worried about how pretty it was going to look down there. All right. And then I just took a piece of the batting and I kind of stuffed it in my hand to make a little ball for his cottontail. And then I glued it right to his tail section. And now I've taken 2 Jenga blocks and I've glued them end to end. I tried to make the fronts match because you're going to see it. So I kind of said, all right, this has 2 light sides. Let me make the light sides face outward so it looks like one continuous piece of wood. And then I just glued them together and glued it onto the board, lining it up with the bottom of the bunny's feet. And then once it's cooled and dried, I went ahead and I did the same thing and repeated the same thing on the back. You could make this bunny also 3-dimensional or reversible. You can go ahead and make a matching bunny on the back if you wanted to. That would be really cute as well. And for him, I wanted him to have a bow tie. She's got a pretty flower, and I wanted to give him a bow tie. And I have this aqua burlap wire edge ribbon from the Dollar Tree that I almost never use. So I was like, that's kind of cute. It's very springy. It'll add just a little bit of blue, like green to it. So, and it'll just make him look jazzy. I didn't want to add just a burlap, but because he's already burlap, so I wanted to give him a little bit of color. So I've just taken a piece and I folded it in thirds like a tube, and I've made my little M like we do. When it's a bow tie, you want to squeeze it in the middle, and you want the bow to basically, I say like an M. If you hold the bow to the side, it'll go up, down, or W, depending if you hold it upside down. And then I've just taken a tiny section, folded it in thirds, and used it to close the bow tie up. Okay? And then trimmed off any excess threads and any excess fabric that's left over. And I wanted to glue it under his chin. I made sure I leave a space between his chin and the bow tie so it doesn't look like he's choking to death. And I kind of put it on the corner of the thing, so it almost looked like it was around his front too, not just on the side there. And I just thought he looks very jazzy. And here's how they look with her pink flower still, and him with his little bow tie. But then I wanted to go ahead and I wanted to jazz her up as well. So I removed the pink satin bow. I left her lace because I thought burlap and lace do look so nice together. And I was going to redo her pom-pom tail. I was going to replace it with batting, and I may still do that, but right now I just left it this way. I thought they would really look like a pair of the same kind of bunny if they had the same type of tail. But what I did was I just used my scissor, actually it's a popsicle stick, to get under the glue of the ribbon. I pulled on the glue from the flower, and I just ended up cutting it off. It wraps around the bunny. So what I did was I took a piece of the natural color wire edge burlap ribbon. I took a section just a little longer than the width of the bunny's neck. I folded it in thirds. I tucked it under the front because that's not going to be hidden by a flower, but the back is. So I wanted the front to be pretty. So I put a little glue underneath the bunny, right where the pink ribbon was. And the pink ribbon didn't cut, like I couldn't get under the bunny to cut the pink ribbon, so you can really see it, but then I'm going to cover it here so it's okay. All right, and then once that glue is set up, which I kind of rushed it a little bit. I didn't really wait for that glue to be cooled off enough. So we're going to go ahead and fix that in a second. But then I'm just going to wrap it around, and I'm following the same glue line that was originally there for the original ribbon. And then I'm gluing it on the back. And I'm not worried about tucking that back piece under the bunny because, like I said, it's going to be covered by the burlap flower that we're going to use. Now we have lots of burlap flower tutorials on different videos. Somebody had asked me to actually do a ribbon rose tutorial, which I think is coming up in the off season. Off season being not Easter, not quite Americana decor, you know, that place in between. But what I have here, I was gifted these beautiful burlap flowers, and I went ahead and I just took the one that was white and natural colored, and I glued it right there to replace the original, and that's it. So I hope you really enjoyed this tutorial and makeover. I really think they're the super cutest bunnies ever. If you have any questions at all, please leave them in the comments down below. Don't forget to share this video with friends and family, anybody who might be interested in learning how to do this technique for either bunny, just to inspire them to redo what they might have bought, or to go ahead and make a stuffed bunny on a flat surface. And if you haven't yet, click subscribe, and when you do, a little bell will pop up. When you ring that bell, YouTube will let you know whenever I upload a new video. And don't forget to stop by the vlog channel. Link is in the description box down below. And as always, take care, God bless, and we'll see you next time. Bye!